We commissioned this work because COVID-19 is obviously the biggest disruption to food systems and many other things that the world has seen in a century or so, outside of major wars. We wanted to understand the impact of COVID-19, in particular on smallholder farmers. About 500 million smallholder farmers across the world feed more than half the world's population and also make up a big proportion of the world's poorest people. We wanted to understand in the partner countries in which we work, how is COVID-19 affecting them and what are the longer term implications for food security in the region. COVID-19 is threatening to morph from being a health crisis to then subsequently catalyse a food crisis. Farmers across the region are finding it harder to secure inputs, fertilisers and other agrochemicals, seeds and labour. They're finding it harder to get their produce to market because of travel restrictions and other things. And there's been an impact on purchasing power. People's incomes have dropped because of lack of remittances and because of lack of opportunities for work, and again restrictions on travel. And so there's not as much money in people's pockets to buy food from farmers, particularly the more nutritious and more expensive foods. So we've got constraints on supply and constraints on demand, and that's leading to existing vulnerabilities in food systems like pests and diseases and in some cases patchy governance and policies. Those things have been magnified. Extreme climatic events, whether it be Tropical Cyclone Harold or the underlying problems driven by climate change, they are now having bigger impacts. Food systems were already under pressure. COVID-19 has exposed, amplified, magnified and exacerbated those pressures. The purpose for ACIAR commissioning this really important strategic assessment was to identify, so what can we do about it? What are the interventions that could make a difference? In particular for us, as an investor in research and development in food systems across the region, but also for our many partners, whether they be ministries of agriculture, national science institutions, key agricultural universities or non-government organisations across the region, to identify where are the points where if we were able to make a strategic intervention in coming months or years, that could help to improve the resilience of food systems within the region. So it's about identifying particular interventions that we could make to improve resilience across the region and to potentially lessen some of those impacts on the most affected people, whether they be smallholder farmers in general or women and girls in particular.